drive.
Yeah, I mean, it is peaceful out here though. Just standing and looking at the water. You can't be upset about being here.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, it would be better to have something to drive.
Yeah, just being out in nature. It's so nice.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Well, let's just go home, I guess.
Yeah, we'll just walk back or this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, shoot. What the heck is that?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Well, we could drive that.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's check if the keys are in it.
Let's see.
Wait,
Truck.
this is a 600LT McLaren. I know about these.
Yeah, I mean, it's been out for a while, but it's cool just here.
I've never seen one or driven one. We should definitely check this out and give our perspective.
That's a really good idea.
Wow.
Yeah, let's definitely do that.
All right.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, perspective number one, I mean, let's just talk about the doors. Vertical doors are pretty cool.
It's, I mean, I feel like a hallmark of supercar.
Crikey! There's a wild velociraptor.
Going off road too.
I hear the mating call. Oh my gosh. Disregarding our ridiculous intro. So we're in John's 600LT, and today Nathan, our director of design, and myself, Alex, are going to discuss the design perspective and driving perspective
all things 600LT.
of this vehicle. So this is definitely a vehicle that we like and we enjoy, and today we're just gonna give it a little run of its paces. It just got some new tires, so we're gonna scrub them up, make sure they're good to go for the road, and make sure that this vehicle is ready for John to drive once again. So,
can I share something with you before we get going?
Yeah, let's go.
And this is kind of awkward. I've actually never driven in this car.
Oh, really?
We've had it for a long time.
All right, well, this is a fresh perspective then.
It's completely fresh. I've sat in it. But yeah, no, let's get into it.
Well, first, kind of like we did with the Lamborghini, let's just start with the interior. What do we like, what do we dislike about the interior of this car?
What do we like?
It's fully loaded with Alcantara everywhere. I mean, pretty much everywhere except for a couple places that have either carbon or the carpet that we both aren't the biggest fans of.
Yeah, I think as far as an interior, it's a very unique interior and 100% McLaren. You know, this doesn't share any characteristics with any other car. I think the overall theme to me of it being like light and airy is really nice, and I really, really like that.
Yeah.
So there's, there's no, the console is open. You really don't have a lot of stuff kind of encroaching into your space, which is great.
Yeah. Definitely very unique in terms of McLaren only. Like, there's no similarities. McLaren has their own kind of interior cues that I really like. One thing I like about McLaren's is the steering wheel is driving only.
Yeah. There
There is nothing to mess around with or distract you with except for the paddles, which could be love-hate as far as the response feel on it. Very clicky. And funny enough, you can actually go plus or minus from either side. You can push or pull. Some people don't actually know that. Push, pull. I do like the carbon on the inside. A lot of nice carbon pieces on this spec. John did a really nice job of speccing it. The orange stitching is nice. Orange seat belts, very cool. But let's see if we can get in on that stuff. Carbon down there.
I'll point out one thing that's really unique on this. Well, actually two things. Number one is on the door card here with these speakers here, and just how this kind of integrates up into the upper dash. But that's pretty unique to have a setup like this, which is cool, and it definitely adds, those different layers to the car, which is repeated on the outside of the car, or vice versa. And then this too, this kind of waterfall screen that is hollow there. I feel like McLaren was one of the first, if not the first, to do that. I know they pioneered the portrait like view of the center screen, and I really like that.
Yeah, which is, it's very interesting for sure, but it fits the portrait you know, orientation fits so much more with the kind of center line of the vehicle versus if it was in landscape, it would be just weird.
Yeah, and it's much more integrated than, you know, like if you just stuck something kind of onto the dash or whatever like that. So I like that.
This does have the upgraded Bowers and Wilkins sound system, which I've always loved. The yellow woofer that you can see visibly inside the speaker cover, which to me has always been cool. Another interesting thing that's weird to notice is that the doors both have these little pockets right here that are like surprisingly deep.
Oh yeah.
Like this door is really thick. If you go from the widest point to the widest point, I mean, it's just like a wide and thick door.
Yeah. But
kind of interesting for sure. He does not have the Senna seats. He's got the regular 600LT seats, but I really like them. We can give you some other footage of it, but they're comfy enough, but they really still hold you if you're on the track or if you're driving spirited. They're still really nice seats. I think the mirror is a little bit rattly, so that could just be, maybe it's loose, but it does kind of bother me. I think there could be just something different about the mirror that I would like better, but that's not a huge gripe. I feel like McLaren is just more about the driving experience, and it's an interesting brand because they always are pushing the limits. They're pushing the boundaries. They're holding nothing back, which is cool in some regards and uncool in some regards to maybe their customers. I feel like, you know, if I'm buying a P1 in 2014 and then the 720 comes out and it's almost as fast, I would be a little upset. But then again, if I'm buying the 720, I'm super happy. So I like that they never hold anything back. They're always putting their best product forward. They're not like Apple holding iPhones back and holding technology back. I mean, I know that there's kind of secrets about McLaren that they're holding certain stuff back, but I think they're always putting out their best, fastest product as fast as possible, and sometimes even too fast, but still super cool.
Well, yeah. I think overall it's cool. I've always loved their philosophy just from a design standpoint, but just technologically too. I mean, it's a company that has its heritage founded in Formula One, which not every supercar company can have that lineage, which is really cool. So the innovation has always been super high with them since the introduction of the MP412C, I feel like.
Yeah.
I mean, that car had so many things that, interestingly enough, this car does not, though, right? Because it doesn't have the hydraulically linked suspension and a few other those kind of more trick things. But I feel like that if I remember right on the launch, I think they did it on purpose so that this car just had a different feel, like you said, the experience. So
yeah, this car is really fun to drive. One last thing that I've got on the interior, which it's just part of me. I'm 6'2", I have long legs. The pedal box is a little small for my liking, but that's kind of just a personal thing. You know, I guess I just need to be smaller somehow, so
that's not gonna happen.
My fault. Yeah.
That's completely your fault. That's
but
on you.
I mean, I guess enough with the interior, right? Let's get to driving. Well, let's give it some hot laps around the track.
Now, we drove last week the Lamborghini Urus.
We drove the Urus last week.
Yes.
The Urus is so interesting. It's an ultra sport SUV that is $250,000, and it's cool and very extra in all regards.
Yeah.
So I feel like I could take it or leave it when it comes to that. But the one area that I was like ridiculously impressed with.
Yes, I think I know where you're going with this.
Was its handling and cornering ability. Oh wait, what were you talking about?
I was gonna. Yeah, I mean that's impressive. But you don't remember this? The thing I loved the most.
Oh, I'm not remembering.
The seat massagers.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay, the thing I loved the most was the seat massagers. Those are the best seat massagers I've ever felt.
Perfect. I mean, when you're hitting a corner, at way too fast for an SUV.
Yeah.
And you're also getting that lumbar, just like really kneading out, you know, some knots. Like, that is nice.
Unbelievable.
And
it's actually powerful too.
It is, oh yeah, it dug deep in there. And this car unfortunately does not have that. So
yeah, no seat massagers here, but I think I'll be okay.
All right. So what are we doing here? What'd you do?
So I put it in the active mode. This is synonymous with all McLarens. You have to put it in active mode, and then these knobs are functional, and you can put it into normal, sport, or track on the handling knob or the performance knob. So they're both in sport. Track is pretty extreme. It makes the throttle response very touchy, and since I'm not trying to set a lap world record here, I'm just going to keep it in sport. But right. Yeah, let's see how she feels.
Yeah, let's hit it. Tires feel good.
Yeah. I love this car because the exhaust is in the rearview mirror, and if it's nighttime, you can see flames, and it brings the kid out of you. Really smooth shifts. That was a $150 pretty easily.
That felt good.
This car to me feels very, let's see how to describe it. Very like linear and functional to drive. Like it kind of does what you want it to do versus I feel like driving the Huracan just a few days ago was a completely different experience. The Huracan feels very heavy and feels like on a center axis, which it feels like I was four-wheel steering. And I know the model that I drove did not have four-wheel steering.
The Huracan or the Urus?
The Huracan.
Oh, okay, but it was four-wheel drive, right?
That is true. So it definitely felt different because of the four-wheel drive, but just like everything about that car was just not as much as what I liked, which I don't know, it feels weird to say, but you know, if you're a race car driver, don't rip me in the comments, but
don't worry, that'll happen.
Yeah.
By all of the race car drivers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you take this over a Huracan? Is that what you're telling me?
I would take this car over a Huracan.
The 600?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Okay. How about the 570? The V10?
I would take the V10.
Especially if it was the, what is it, the two-wheel drive, what do they call it, the 580-2?
Oh, yeah. Rear-wheel drive version would be cool. Yeah. It'd be way cooler if they made a gated manual, but that'll never happen.
That would be cool. Never say never.
Yeah. This car pulls really hard. It's twin-turbo V8, so it really picks up legs in the upper RPM bands, which is fun. I haven't actually had it on the racetrack. John has had it to Coda and said it was really nice. So yeah, I'm sure he would have a lot more to say about it. All right, let's see if we can get a launch control in.
All right, let's hit it. Yeah, I was not ready for that. That was good.
It's just so easy and effortless. I mean, you can just hit launch and go.
That had some kick to it for sure. After being here at Hennessey, it's not the fastest thing I've been in,
right?
But we're spoiled.
We are spoiled. We're horsepower spoiled.
Like, yeah.
All right, well, let's switch.
Okay. You trust me in this?
I trust. Oh wait. Okay. I have something to say.
Yes.
Put it in reverse. Pretend like you're reversing into a parking spot and you have to turn the wheel like 90 degrees.
Okay, so I'm just gonna
do and then stop. Oh wait, can you? Oh, wait, where'd it go?
Well, I'm kind of like.
Where'd the screen go?
Yeah, I mean you.
Oh.
That's a bit of a. Here, I'll get a driver's point of view. That does make parking a little difficult.
I will say,
yeah.
That one I've never understood. I really do love this car, but I want this reverse screen. I've seen it in the mirror.
Or yeah, I was gonna say the mirror would be a good option too. we'll do post-production.
Yeah.
So, I should also say that this is basically a layman's review of a 600LT.
Yeah.
I literally, you do not want to look for me.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean?
Characteristics.
You don't think we're Chris Harris?
You might be Chris Harris. Foot's flat. Dude. I was getting a ton more steering feel on this than the Lamborghini.
Really, yeah?
Like, way more.
Yeah.
That was cool. I think I prefer this. It felt a little more squirrely.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that.
Alright, well, let's take it back to the shop and look at the outside. Well, let's dissect the exterior. And again, like Nathan said, this is a layman's review. This is the regular guy review of a really cool car. We're not race car drivers, and we are not professional automotive reviewers. We're just cool car guys, really cool car guys, I should say, that have some opinions, and maybe you like them, maybe you don't. So, the 600LT is the LT version, of course, of the 570. And I'm not a huge fan of the 570, but I do like the 600LT. It's just the more aggressive track version. The exhaust is on the rear deck. It's pretty sweet.
Exterior wise, I've always appreciated what McLaren has done with their whole biomimicry thing that Frank Stephenson really pioneered with them. So like the layers of the doors and these like tendon areas here, it's all really cool, and it's all stuff that's really fresh. So I always like it. I think in terms of McLaren, the P1 is still kind of my favorite. Maybe the 720 is a close second. I think that's really good looking, but it's a cool car for sure. It's a cool car. And I think one of the coolest things are these exhausts. I mean, that's so cool. The only other car that I have really seen these on is the 918.
Yeah.
You know what actually is the most interesting thing about this car, and we've talked about this, it's bigger than a 720.
Yeah, that is so weird. When you told me that, to me this is just a smaller car than the 720 in my brain, but yeah, I guess when you look at the actual numbers, this is bigger than a 720.
Slightly, but yeah.
Yeah, slightly.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a beautiful looking car for sure. And this spec particularly is nice. Carbon roof, carbon everywhere. A little bit dirty here, but just really nice.
End plates are really cool. This reminds me just straight up of Formula One, which I love this, being able to see some of the tire and that sculpture that comes down there, even this little guy here. You know, again, you can see even here the layering of the material. So it's literally laid on top of it rather than kind of integrated within it, which is really cool. So it almost, if you stand back here, you can kind of see, it's like these two parts of the car have been sort of folded on top of it.
Yeah.
Which is...
Yeah, that is cool thought. Well, everybody, and just like that, this vlog is over. We will see you next time. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks, Nathan, for
anytime
hanging out, and we'll see you next time.